Ever pondered about how your decisions affect those around you and vice versa? Welcome to the intriguing world of game theory. This fascinating concept is more than just a game. It's a powerful tool for understanding the complex interactions that shape our world. Imagine being in a room with several people, each with their own set of objectives and strategies. Your decisions might impact their outcomes, and their choices could affect your results. This is the essence of game theory, a framework that models situations where decision-makers interact, and their choices interweave with each other's outcomes. Now, let's delve a bit deeper. There are different types of games in this theory, each with its own unique characteristics and implications. Cooperative games, for instance, involve players who can form binding agreements, working together to maximize their combined payoff. On the other hand, in non-cooperative games, players cannot make such commitments. Their decisions are independent, often leading to a competitive environment. But what makes game theory so appealing? It's its practicality. Game theory is not confined to the realm of academics or abstract thought. It's a real-world tool that can help us navigate the intricate web of decisions we encounter every day. Whether it's negotiating a business deal, deciding on a social policy, or even choosing what to have for dinner, game theory can provide valuable insights into the potential outcomes of our choices. So, next time you're faced with a decision, remember that you're not alone. Your choices will ripple out, affecting others and in turn be influenced by their decisions. Game theory, therefore, is not merely an abstract concept, but a practical tool for navigating the complex maze of decision-making in our daily lives. To fully grasp game theory, we need to understand two key concepts: Nash Equilibrium and dominant strategies. Let's dive into Nash Equilibrium first, named after the mathematician John Nash. This concept refers to a state of play where no player can benefit by unilaterally changing their strategy, given that the other players keep their strategies unchanged. Think of it as a deadlock or a stalemate. Everyone's made their move, and any further shifts would not give anyone a distinct advantage. It's the point where all players are in harmony, each playing their best possible strategy in response to the others. On the other hand, we have dominant strategies. A dominant strategy is like the ace up your sleeve. No matter what the other players do, this strategy will always yield the best outcome for you. It's the move you'd make, regardless of the hand you're dealt. It's your power play, your winning shot. Dominant strategies may not always exist in every game, but when they do, they're a game changer. But what happens when all players have a dominant strategy? Well, the intersection of these strategies often leads to a Nash equilibrium. It's like a sweet spot, the point where everyone's best moves align. However, keep in mind that not all games have a Nash equilibrium, and not all Nash equilibriums are efficient or socially desirable. In the grand scheme of things, these concepts are more than just strategies in a game. They're a reflection of the complex dance of decisions and outcomes that we encounter in everyday life. From the stock market to international diplomacy, from business negotiations to social interactions, these concepts can help us predict, understand, and influence the outcomes of strategic interactions. With these two key concepts, you can start to see how game theory could be a powerful tool in your decision-making arsenal. Think game theory is just for economists and mathematicians? Think again. It has practical applications in negotiation and bargaining. Game theory, at its core, is a framework for modeling situations where decision-makers interact and their choices affect each other's outcomes. Now imagine a negotiation scenario. Each party involved is a decision-maker, and their decisions directly influence the outcome for everyone involved. Let's consider a simple, relatable example. You're at a flea market, bargaining for a vintage lamp. You want the best price possible, and so does the seller. This is where game theory comes in. It can help you identify what we call a Nash equilibrium, a state of affairs where no player has anything to gain by changing only their own strategy. If you've haggled down to a price where neither you nor the seller can benefit from further negotiation, you've found your Nash equilibrium. But game theory isn't just about identifying stable outcomes. It also encourages us to consider possible changes and adaptations. In our flea market scenario, maybe you realize that throwing in a complimentary lampshade might make the seller more willing to lower the price. That's an adaptation of your strategy, influenced by game theory. And it's not just about flea markets. This applies to every negotiation scenario. Whether you're haggling over the price of a used car, negotiating a business deal, or even navigating a diplomatic crisis. Game theory helps us understand the strategic interplay between different parties, enabling us to anticipate others' decisions and adapt our strategies accordingly. Game theory, therefore, can help you become a better negotiator, whether you're bargaining at a flea market or negotiating a business deal. Game theory isn't just about competition, it's also about cooperation. Let's explore how it applies to social dilemmas and collective decision-making. Imagine you're part of a group tasked with making a decision that affects everybody. Maybe it's a community deciding whether to build a new park, or a team at work deciding on the best way to tackle a project. In these situations, game theory dives into the heart of the matter, examining the push and pull between individual and collective interests. Let's picture a classic example of a social dilemma: the tragedy of the commons. Imagine a group of farmers sharing a common pasture. Each farmer wants to maximize their gain, but if everyone acts selfishly, the pasture will be overgrazed and everyone will lose out. Game theory doesn't just help us understand this problem, it also provides strategies to overcome it. In situations like this, cooperation is key, but how do we ensure everyone plays their part? This is where concepts like Nash Equilibrium come in. A Nash equilibrium is a state where no individual can gain by deviating from their strategy given the strategies of others. So, in our farmer's situation, a Nash equilibrium could be an agreement to limit the number of animals each farmer grazes on the pasture. Game theory also sheds light on collective decision-making. Whether it's voting on a new law or deciding where to go for dinner with friends, game theory can help us understand the dynamics at play. It can reveal why certain decisions are made, highlight the power of incentives, and even suggest ways to make the process more efficient and fair. So as you can see, game theory isn't just a theoretical concept. It's a practical tool that can help you make better decisions and achieve more favorable outcomes in your daily life.